Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So guys, I asked what this conversation would be about, and what I heard is energy surging and activations happening. So there's a lot happening. Hopefully it's good stuff for all of you. Hopefully. I'm suddenly feeling quite a bit of surging in energy. Let's see exactly where this is going to go. Activations tend to be really good. That tends to be a really good sign. It shows like forward growth. But the thing is, with activations, a lot is involved, meaning there's a potentiality that you will experience some degree of hardship, some degree of struggle, a lot of having a sidebar conversation with Michaela over here. Just okay. Let me just, okay, hold on. Because I saw a card and Michael says I'm cheating now. Okay, I'm just like rotating this deck right here because anyways. Anyways, okay, we'll leave those 3 cards on the table. And then we'll go ahead and grab a couple more. I can't believe he's accusing me of cheating. Whatever. Anyways, activations, right? Activations. I'm not looking at any cards. Activations. You guys are going through activations. That's usually going to involve a shift in your perception of your life. And let's see where these shifts take us, okay? Where these shifts are taking us. Okay. All right, it's a lot of cards. Better hurry up. Okay, here goes. Oh, okay. I'm liking this. Sola's giving some pretty direct instructions. Okay, so here, look. You've forgotten something about yourself, your power, your trajectory. I look so small. Hold on. Let me pull this down. You've forgotten something. There's something that you need to remember about your journey and about your life. There's definitely something that you're not taking into consideration about yourself that's causing you to have a very negative mindset about yourself. Are you like all up in your head? I'm feeling like for some of you, you're all up in your head, and these thoughts are things that are really creating unnecessary challenge for you. What type of unnecessary challenge? I don't know. So what needs to happen now? Well, your higher self is challenging you to see yourself differently. This is not old stuff. This is your current circumstance. However it is that you're seeing yourself, it's not healthy. Ooh, your soul is calling you out. Your soul is calling you out. Awkward. Awkward. Your soul is calling you out. If you can get past whatever this like negative mindset that you've created about yourself, it's almost like this perception that all you're capable of manifesting is failure, lack of health, struggle and strife. It's like a lot of negative stuff. If you can get past that, I think you're going to enter into a space that's very unexpected for you. It's a space of prosperity. Really, the only one that has capacity, the capability of preventing your abundance from coming in is you. Yeah, it's true. True story. Very, very true. Are you are you struggling with your relationship with money? Is that what it is? You're struggling with your relationship with money because ooh, I don't know, it's this sense of some of you have bought into this mindset that if you allow yourself to succeed, then you're kind of like a sellout. You have completely abandoned your origins, that you think you're better than, that, it's like you're trying to separate yourself from where you came from. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. And then for others of you, it's this thing of like your existence has made other people just feel so uncomfortable. And it really has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with the way they're witnessing you within your like just natural existence. And it's very intimidating for them, but you're not doing anything. That's the thing. I don't feel like you're doing anything to warrant any of this outside of existing. They're offended by the fact that you exist. It's making you enter into this like upside down feminine energy. This upside down feminine energy is highly destructive to the self, not externally. It's internal self-destruction. You're pushing away opportunities to create. You're grabbing the rose by the thorns rather than by the stem, is what I hear. See, the thing about a rose is that it's a very gentle flower. Just because it has thorns doesn't mean it's violent. It doesn't mean this flower is one that likes combat. It means it's prepared to defend itself when it's mishandled. Are you a rose? Is that what it is? You're a rose that's being mishandled, maltreated, and people are catching you by the thorns, and then they're blaming you for the fact that they're trying to mishandle you with no consequence to them. You need to step into your power. All of this energy that's surging, if you don't step into your power, that's going to be hard on you. And for those of you who are going to say, oh, it's okay, I can handle it, it's not okay. It's never been okay. It's never been okay. And I feel phoenix fire through my throat. It's not a painful thing. It's this awareness that the words, the message that's coming through, it's something that's highly purified by soul. It's never been okay. All of this stuff that you have tolerated, that you have allowed, enabled, it's never been okay. And I think for some of you, you're getting quite triggered by me saying that, because when I say that, you can't continue to pretend like it's okay. What if I told you the time for pretending is done? The time for pretending is done. You need to allow yourself to recognize the ways in which you've become destabilized because of how you have completely ignored your needs. You've completely ignored instructions from soul for what? To appease the very people who are uncomfortable with the mere fact that you exist. How is that okay? How is that okay? Just because you can handle it. Just because you are strong enough to be able to shoulder that type of caca does not make it okay. And this is part of the reason why you've been destabilized, and your soul has allowed you to get destabilized in order for you to get to a point where you finally choose yourself. If you're not going to choose yourself during this period, how honest do y'all want me to be? I mean, I'm really incapable of not being honest, to be honest. I don't like dishonesty. At best, I will just like clearly communicate that I'm withholding information, uncomfortably withholding information, because I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to share. If you don't get on board with what your soul is wanting you to do, and I don't know what that is, I'm not the one giving you instruction, your soul is. Okay. I'm just giving you clarity as to why your process is going the way that it is, part of the potential reasoning. If you don't get on board with what your soul is instructing you to do, you're going to suffer tremendously. You think you've suffered before? That's nothing compared to where your life will head. People don't like that. I wouldn't be surprised if half of you get off the live stream because, oh my God, she's preaching negativity. You do whatever you need to do. I'm being honest. I'm not opposed to suffering. I've suffered through quite a bit in life. It's added to my strength. If you're opposed to suffering, you need to get on board with what your soul's telling you to do. If you don't, you will suffer. If you're not opposed to suffering, by all means, continue fighting your soul if you want. I personally believe that when you choose the suffering, when you choose the more complicated, more grueling process of learning, it elevates and expands your potentiality and what you're learning. So it benefits you in the end. It sucks, but it benefits you in the end. If you don't have the capacity to make it through that, I would highly suggest you get on board with whatever your soul is telling you to do. And you don't get the luxury of demanding to know and fully understand the ins and outs of every single intricate detail of what your soul has predetermined as appropriate for you. You don't get that luxury. You don't get to demand those types of things. You just don't. There's a difference between you, the human, and you, the soul. When spirituality speaks of sovereign free will, it's talking about the soul's sovereign free will. The human gets a say in the way you experience what your soul has decided using its free will. But you don't get to decide for most things whether or not you'll experience it. You're simply going to decide how you will experience it, to what degree of intensity, and at what positioning on that polarized plane of existence. So if you get on board, so this is if you don't, this is if you do. If you get on board, you won't feel like you're fighting your soul anymore. It won't be this internal war. It will be something where it seems you're receiving it as though things are flowing much more nicely. And that's probably because more of your energy is going towards actually manifesting the very things that you want and need. And when you feel like you're the one creating the opportunities, it tends to be a much nicer experience, much, much nicer experience. Your expectations, if you flow with what your soul is asking you to do, your expectations will be in alignment. The storms, whatever inclement weather that you're facing as a soul, it's not going to be as long. So if you look at the buffalo, all right, there's buffalo. Right there, right there. All right, there's 4 buffalo, 4 being the number of self. So 4 buffalo, that means you are taking in, for those of you who are in compliance with what your soul wants, you're taking in the instructions from soul, and soul is commanding you to run headfirst into the storm. You know what happens when you run headfirst into the storm? Whether you're afraid or not is irrelevant. When you run headfirst into the storm, it doesn't last as long because you're running into it. When you're running away from it, I mean, you can only go so fast, right? And so what ends up happening is you prolong your exposure to that inclement weather. The inclement weather being representative of difficulties in life. Face it head on. It's very simple. Face it head on. Whatever you're afraid of, face it head on. Head on. Energy is surging. There is. There's a lot of dark energy that was released. A lot of shifting. Ooh, it's a lot. I don't know if you guys can feel that. So for those who are in compliance with soul, ready but waiting, but it's in reverse. You might not feel ready, but you're no longer waiting. Everything is starting to happen. All these things that you've worked towards, these opportunities, these things that have been so difficult for you to allow yourself to work towards. Maybe it's a change in career, maybe it's a change in relationship, change in living circumstance, change in friendship. I don't know, but it's a major change. It's a major life change, something that has required so much courage from you. It's happening. You're seeing the shifts, you're seeing the opportunities being created, and all you need to do is really just ride the wave. Ride the wave. You cannot control the ocean. You cannot direct a tsunami. All you can do is whatever you can to stay on the surface and ride that wave all the way through. All the way through. You'll get to where you need to be. You'll get there. And then when you end up there, you'll be like, how did I manage this? You managed. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter how. All that matters is that you were able to do it. Give yourself the appropriate credit. Now, for those of you, you don't like to listen to your soul. I get it. I don't like to listen most days either. I don't, but I will I will comply. This is for y'all, these 3 cards. You're under dark influence. You're under dark influence. What does that mean? Oh my God, here she goes with the scary shit. Okay, first off, it's only scary because you're trying to control things you know you're not allowed to control. So, whatever. Not my problem. Okay. You're under the influence of dark things. What does that mean? Well, you're listening to the whispers of things that don't want you to succeed, things that are really skewing the way you see yourself. And you don't want to hear anything else but that. You want to listen and fully embody all your insecurities, all your fears, all of these reasons that you're giving as to why you're destined to fail. The only thing you're destined to do is what you set out to do. And if you need to figure out how powerful you are by experiencing the polar opposite, then go ahead. I'm a firm believer that you will end up exactly where you need to be. And if you need to first visit the very bottom before you choose to climb to the top, by all means, go ahead. Thank you, Soul Star. It's up to you. I believe in sovereign free will. I'm not going to be like, no, don't do that. I mean, would I? No. I've done that several times. That shit sucks. It sucks. Is there anyone that I can blame for the way I experience those periods? Yeah, there is. Me. I chose that. I chose that. I turned out fine. I turned out fine. Not only did I survive it, I learned how to thrive after it. But that was my choice. I had to choose to first give myself permission to survive. And then secondly, encourage myself to begin thriving after the fact. I feel like we all have the capacity to be fine, but most of us don't choose to use that capacity. And then we project the blame onto others. That's up to you. That's up to you. If you don't want to listen to your soul context, right? Soul is trying to give you context as to why you will experience what you will be experiencing in the next few weeks. There's a lot. There's a lot. So what needs to happen? What's happening? Am I allowed to talk about that? Okay. Last week, a portion of Lemuria broke through a membrane. I had my event last week. A portion of Lemuria broke through. A lot of that Lemurian energy is now saturating the planetary template. That's a good thing. But creation is about balance. So as much light has broken through, that much darkness has also trickled in. More like gushed, more like gushed than trickle. But it is what it is. Balance. You want the light to appear extremely bright, you need to expose it to an opposing polarity at equal intensity. As bright as the light is, the darkness needs to be as dark. I have an event this Saturday. My heart's pounding. I have an event this Saturday. Soul had asked me to push it back. It is the Baneful Protection Workshop for those on all platforms except for TikTok. You can find that on the screen. It's a QR code on the screen that you can click on, or the link in the comment, and you can see how to sign up for that event. Currently running a 40% coupon from Memorial Day. I think it ends tomorrow. The Baneful Protection Workshop is basically where I teach you how to protect yourself. This is not about me teaching you how to curse other people. And if you're on TikTok, that workshop information, if you go to the link in my bio, click on the Hubi link, you'll see it near the top, Baneful Protection Workshop. So with this, most of you don't know this, but part of my history, I have a very extensive soul history. I'm extremely well versed in baneful protection. The origins of baneful magic was to negate the war tactics of Lilith and her legions. She works closely with high-ranking principalities, and they were using quite a bit of dark magical processes to wage war against humans. And the information was released to the spiritual leaders, the elders of nations. They were taught baneful magic. I remember the baneful magic. Baneful magic was originally intended to be a magical boundary with consequences attached. At the root, if done correctly, in honor of its origins, baneful magic carries no karmic load. Why? Because it's about correction, not retribution, not punishment, not retaliation, none of that. So I teach people, and this is going to be the only other time that I teach this class. I'm not teaching it again. I teach people how to create a boundary that carries with it such a hefty consequence when that boundary is crossed that most things would not dare. And if y'all don't know my history, I have a history of people trying to harm me using magical process just because I exist. Yeah. It's funny to me because it's like, bitches, you hurting your own feelings. None of that shit's going to get through. It's not going to get through. Why? Well, because I said no. That's reason enough. Because I said no. Thank you, Soul Star. You guys have to begin understanding and accepting you have a major say in people and things accessing you. And it's not just about you saying no. You see, my words match my actions, match my energy. Those three things together They're always in alignment. So when I say no, it reverberates through all time and space. That's a solid, hard pass no. It don't matter what you try. When I say no, it means no. Does it seem like my energy is joking? Am I just commanding things without knowing what I'm doing? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. When I say there's a consequence, there's absolute consequence. And no, I don't believe in curses and hexing others. I believe when you do that, that's basically you admitting you don't have authority over yourself. And so now you're wilding out. It's a spiritual crash out. No. Everything I do is intentional. Everything I do carries no karmic load. Why? Because you will not influence me into a crash out. I am in control of myself. I am in control of my energy, my destined path, my purpose. I am in control. And some of you might be like, I thought you said your soul is the one in control, not the human you. Exactly. I listen to everything my soul tells me to do. Everything. Everything. These energies that are surging, they have the capacity to supercharge your journey. They have the capacity to really, really push a lot of the things you want to manifest. It's just a matter of how open are you to allowing your soul to guide you? For many people, you have control issues. I've had control issues. And those control issues typically are rooted in your feeling, unspoken usually, your feeling of having no control, having no power over yourself. And because you feel that way, you feel the chaos inside you, you project to your external environment the need to control. And it's usually to prove to yourself that you can handle things. Can you? Do you know how to handle whatever life gives you? And it's okay if you don't. Because the moment you can admit to yourself that you don't have the coping strategies that are healthy, you don't have some type of general plan as to how to move forward, what general direction you want to go. If you can't admit those things to yourself, if you want to just keep pretending that you can handle everything when you know you can't, that doesn't work in your favor. I was seeing this video of, I think they're called puddle jumpers or something like that. It's some vest type thing. It's a flotation device you put on your kids, right? There's flotation compartments on the chest, the back, and the arms, and the child is made to think that they can actually swim. And I guess parents are realizing those things are dangerous because it gives the child a false sense of security. It causes the young child to believe that they can actually swim when they can't. And then they take these risks. They go into a pool without their parents' knowledge and a whole bunch of other things. It can turn out very catastrophic, very tragic. Do you have spiritual floaties on? Are you just trying to convince yourself that you can handle what life is bringing your way when in actuality, you haven't been able to handle much? It's okay to admit that. Because if you can be honest with yourself and admit where you lack the skill, the knowledge, you can then begin developing those skills and acquiring that knowledge. It's not admission of weakness. Weakness is when you can't be honest with yourself. Weakness is when you cosplay. You cosplay other people so that you can present yourself as stronger and more knowledgeable than you actually are. Speaking to you, babe. FYI, babe, I'm about to change my eyeglass frame. You gotta have to change yours too. Okay, let me stop fucking around. No, seriously, weakness is when you try and cosplay a level of strength that you don't have. And it's not that you're incapable of getting that strong. It's that you're not willing to put in the work. First, it takes a lot of work to acknowledge that you're not where you want to be. Once you do that, you can then begin creating some type of plan of action to move forward in the direction you want to be in. So once upon a time, I had this goal like a couple of years back. My sister-in-law, she used to do competitions and she did really, really well. She was featured in Muscle and Fitness magazine. I forgot what other magazines, but she was featured. She like did really well for herself. And I believe, if I remember right, she was even invited to compete at Olympia. Oh, she did good. She did really, really good. And I remember when I was first deciding that I wanted to, improve my fitness level and increase my health, I looked back at a conversation we had, and she was talking about how she was leg pressing 700 pounds. And because she was able to achieve as much as she achieved, which is huge, I was like, I want that to be my goal. I want to be able to leg press 700 pounds, knowing that I have bum knees. I was supposed to get total knee replacement for both my knees, double total knee replacement when I was like 26 years old. Like, yikes, right? And then a couple of years ago, when I decided to really see what I could do, I had to be honest with myself. I had to be very honest with myself. Many, many limitations that I had to operate within to stay safe so I wouldn't injure myself. I didn't have the type of stabilization that I needed. I needed to stabilize quite a few different muscle groups. I needed to strengthen my ligaments and my tendons. I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos. So that predisposes me to pretty severe injury. If I'm not careful, I could be seriously injured. Long story short, once I fully committed myself to my understanding of my current limitations and how to overcome those in a very responsible, very safe, methodical manner, guess what? These days, I max out at 995, 995 pounds. I could probably go more than that if I really wanted to. Probably could. That exceeds that 700-pound goal that I had set years back. I could go heavier than that. But I have to be honest with myself about my limitations. What are the outcomes I'm looking to achieve? Because at some point, is it just ego? Or am I actually taking the steps towards a goal? I don't want to be a power lifter. I have the capacity to be one. I don't want to be one. I don't like the physique. Not for myself. I don't like the physique. I already have no curves. It's okay. Yeah, I don't like the physique, so I don't want to do that. So what's my goal? A different type of physique. I don't want bikini. I could do that. Minimal challenge to myself. Not healthy, of course. I don't want that. I want something that challenges me. I want something that will help me to move beyond the current limits that I'm operating at. So, what do I want? What's my goal? I have two goals. I haven't decided on which one to finalize. Either going to do figure I hold a lot of fat in my back. So I would need to really strengthen my posterior chain, really develop that, which I am. I'm very proud of myself. I am. I'm committed to it. Or I could do wellness. I have stick legs. My body doesn't like to hold muscle on my legs. It's always the skinniest part of me. So I could do that. That pushes me beyond my comfort zone. It gives me a goal that's slightly beyond what I can just do naturally. It makes it healthy for me when I realize I'm not where I need to be. I can go a little further. I can push a little more while respecting my body's needs. I don't have fear of things because I understand the limitations are nothing but invitation to surpass that point of fear. To me, that's what a limitation is, an invitation to cross a line that I've held within myself. The energies that are surging right now, you're being invited to cross lines that have kept you imprisoned in a very limited space of existence. I've had specialists tell me to fuse my spine. I've had specialists tell me to cut out my knees and put in implanted knees. No, I refused all of it. These days, max out my leg press around 995. And I did a PR for deadlift. I think it was 375 pounds. Yeah. 375 pounds. I'm a strong little fucker. I am. I'm strong. I still can't open a pickle jar, though. I don't know what the fuck that's about. I could dead hang for quite some time. I could do all kind of shit. Pickle jar, nope. Cannot. I cannot. No to pickle jars and no to that safety seal. It's like a little foil safe. I can't do that. The fuck? I can't. It's too hard for me. That shit frustrates the shit out of me. So what do? I call in the person who loves me the most and helps me through all my limits. I call in my husband. For those who are not willing to follow the instructions from soul, formation in reverse. Your fear is causing you to build a foundation that will crumble under the pressure of growth. That's your choice. That's your choice. If you want to do that, if you want to keep building because your ego is telling you that, no, you got this, you got this, you got this, but you're doing it wrong. Did you know? And I love to make all these analogies that pertain to health and fitness because it's just so perfect. The analogy of it. Did you know that it doesn't matter how heavy you can lift? If you have improper form, if you have injury or limitations that are currently existing and you continue to lift, all you're doing is training your muscles to get stronger in the way it holds that diseased state in place. Yeah, I don't give a shit how heavy you can lift. If you can't lift it with proper form, don't lift at all. Don't lift at all. Don't bother. You ever seen that guy? There's this guy, poor guy. I don't think he's doing it as a joke. He wears like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 leather weightlifting belts. He's like really scrawny. He's like Lean Gru from the Minions. His form, his figure, I mean. His physique is like Lean Gru. And he will load all of the 45-pound plates onto the machine. It don't matter what kind of machine it is. He will just load all of this weight. And he's not even doing a full rep. He barely moves his legs. But to him, that's like, it's the shit, yo. It's the shit. Don't play with yourself. You're gonna hurt yourself. If that guy, when he hurts himself, that's a motherfucking tear. He's gonna tear some shit. He's gonna break a bone. Like the amount of weight he's playing around with, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. One of these days, if I come across this video again, I will download it and share it with you guys. It's some crazy shit. Watching it, like, man, they let you do that in the gym because you're endangering everyone around you with the shit you're doing. You know? Are you playing this game with yourself about how much you can actually do? And it's not that that man could never lift that type of weight. It's that you have to work up to it. You have to build that strength. You have to build the foundation. It's important. All of this is important. You know what I had to do for my knees? A portion of my quads was not communicating with my brain. Mind muscle connection is real. A portion of my quads was not firing up. It was not activating. It was my vastus medialis oblique. What did I have to do? I had to wake it up. How did I do that? I used an electrical stimulation machine. It's not a TENS machine. It's a Compex. That shit hurts. I had to crank it up, way up. And when I did that, my tendons and my ligaments were holding my knee together properly. Sometimes the extreme challenges that you face, the ones that feel like they're going to tear you apart, because that's what it felt like. It felt like my muscle was tearing from my bones. That shit fucking hurts. Oh, you know what it did though? It woke up the dormant part of me, the part of me that wasn't functioning in the way it needed to function. The energy that's surging right now is like the spiritual complex. It's waking up the parts of you that have been dormant, the parts of you that are necessary to stabilize yourself in the process that you're in. If you don't have the courage to recognize what's happening and you want to rip that electrode off because you're afraid, you see, I knew what I was doing because I was instructed by a master body worker. I'm very blessed to have a sibling that's a master fucking body worker. He told me exactly what I needed to do. I bought the expensive ass machine. I put it on, and boy, oh boy, it feels like you're being electrocuted. I wanted to lower the amount of energy used. So you can feel that at like 15, 20. It's already uncomfortable. He had me set it to like 120, 150. Oh, my toes were curled, baby. My toes were curled. Like, oh, shit. Uh-huh. And I had asked him, can I lower it? And he's like, do you want results? You want to heal? You want the adhesions to be released? Yeah. Then you need to listen to what I'm saying. He's the expert. So I listened. Within one session, knees felt stabilized. This is like one session is going to hurt. If you can allow yourself to see what your soul is trying to bring you through, the type of stabilization, after that, because before that moment, I was not able to leg press more than, I don't know, me. It's like 4 plates on each. So 8 plates of 45 plus the sled, which is 167. Let me see. 8 times 45 plus 167. I wasn't able to leg press more than 527 pounds with some pretty intense knee wraps on. After that one session, I bumped it up immediately to 700 something. So it was 14 times 45 plus 167, 797 pounds. I bumped it up over 200 pounds. This period with the surging energy, it's like the complex. It's your spiritual complex. It's strengthening the structures that are necessary for you to be able to make some massive power moves through your life. If you're going to be scared, do it anyways. No one ever said you can only do these things when you have no fear. You want to get over that fear? Do it while afraid. When you are able to get it done while you're afraid, that's a type of confidence that no one can take from you. That's a type of knowing of your capacity that no one can ever skew. For many of us, we need to remind ourselves that now is not the time to surrender. No surrender to your fear. No surrender to the limitations that you are thinking you have to stay within. You don't need to do all of that. You can get through whatever this period is just by setting that standard, that expectation of self that you will get through it. No matter what it is, you're going to get through it. Are you willing to get through it? Or is it something more of you're just letting life drag you around? Because if you're just letting life drag you around, I don't know that that's the point. I don't know that that's the point. Okay. It's time for you to move forward from all of your insecurities. You don't have to be healed to be worthy of love, to be worthy of growth, healing, respect, and all of this wonderful, beautiful stuff. That's all a lie. You know, by the time you heal all of your wounds and insecurities, that will be your last breath. That's when you're allowed to exit. The things that you're supposed to heal within yourself during this lifetime, by the time you do that, it will be your last breath. So this concept of you need to be healed now, like now you're healed, is never the goal to heal. The body knows how to heal, just like the soul knows how to heal. You just need to get out of your own way, and you need to stop exacerbating the wound, ripping it back open, reinfecting it, exposing it to things that delay the healing. Your main goal in this life, the reason this energy is surging and trying to activate you, is so your awareness of your wholeness returns. That's all you need to do, is work on your degree of awareness of how whole you have been this whole time. I don't have a better half. I have a man that I love with my entire being and soul, and I've loved him for many lifetimes. And we live a life together. He's not my other half. He's not my better half, my other half. He's not what completes me. I am whole in myself on my own, just as he is. Tell me that's not beautiful. That two whole beings found each other once again. And every day we wake up choosing to walk beside each other. Not because we have to, not because we're dependent on each other, not because there's no way I could make it, there's no way he could make it without us being together. It's not a codependency. It's an interdependent relationship. We choose to allow the other to be our sounding board, to be the thing that we can lean on when we don't feel like we can stand. I don't complete him, he doesn't complete me, but us sharing our life together with each other, being the company to witness the good times, the support during the hard times. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more. I don't want anything more. I don't want anything more. You're whole within yourself. And everything that's happening right now, it's going to help you realize this. If you're not ready to realize this, and if you're still holding on to a lot of those spiritual teachings, I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be a rough ass ride. It's going to be a very, very rough ride. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Michael says, Michael says, have you ever noticed the way in which you clamp your lips down when you don't want to say what you're being told to say? This is a rough message. I don't know if you guys are ready to hear it. So, this is your advance warning, trigger warning, rough message, incoming rough message. So, for those of you still choosing to hold on to these expired belief structures that were disseminated to keep you phase locked, this period is going to be so difficult. Why? Well, because if you're wearing those teachings as though they were your skin, you are going to feel as though you are being skinned alive during this period. You will lose the greatest portion of your self-identified identity. Whatever you're cosplaying as, yeah, that's going to be pushed out. Pushed out, scraped off, skinned off, however you want to put it, is not going to be a good experience. I don't know about you guys. I have learned over the years, I don't play with soul like that. I win everything I engage. Literally, everything I engage, I will win that. Not with soul. I learned that the hard way. Not with soul. Not with soul. Soul is so consistent in leaving me in a heap on the floor in a fetal position, crying myself while rocking myself while crying. Soul is the one thing I will not take on. Your girl ain't dumb. I can only lose to soul so many times before I'm like, okay, listen, soul. Okay, hold up. I will do what you ask. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'm feeling mildly rebellious right now. Let me just breathe out my rebellion. Let me just breathe for a moment. I will comply. I will comply. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not even ashamed. If you hold on to those teachings that lack integrity, this is not going to end well. It's your choice. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to get you to agree with me. I'm just letting you know some of the potential outcomes for your chosen actions, behaviors, and decisions. You don't have to believe me at all. It don't bother me none. It's not me that's going to be tussling with soul. It really isn't. So you do what you want to do. Intuition. For some of you, you're being given advanced knowledge of some of the things that are being put into play. I think for those of us who are more willing to comply with soul, you're going to find you're going to find that the potentiality for extreme abundance is right around the corner. Mm. If you're afraid of the abundance, just stop. Just stop. It's not up to you to tell soul how to love you and how much to provide. Soul gives you everything that you want and need. Well, soul gives you everything that you need when you need it the most. So if money is coming in, that means you need it the most in that moment. I know sometimes we want the money, right? Do you need it in that moment? In the way that you think? Maybe not. I think for quite a few of us, soul is about to give you something very intense, very profound, very intense, and you need to allow. Oh, okay. So there are some messages coming through. What is going on with the planetary alignment? Do you guys know? Is there like some planetary stuff happening, some moon stuff, some, I don't know. I'm not into planetary stuff. Hold on one second. Let me see if there's Saturn in Aries. Okay. On May 24th, Saturn changes signs. It goes into Aries. Immense amount of effort to advance even one step. So, okay, this guy says, well, Aries as a sign takes action, initiates, but Saturn as a planet requires an immense amount of effort to advance even one step. So I conceive of Saturn and Aries as like being stuck in first gear, or like being in a horse racing, in a horse race, getting the signal to go and seeing all the other competitors rush forward, but experiencing a malfunction in your lane where your gate won't open. It's like, we know we want to exert this energy. Okay, so being stuck in first gear is a powerful thing. It's a very, very, very powerful thing. Why? Okay, you might think first gear is the slowest gear. That's where you have all the fucking torque, yo. That's where you have the torque. So rev it. My husband likes to go to the tracks sometimes. When we were younger, that was his thing, right? That was his thing. And what I learned is, like, you put in first, pop in the clutch, you let that rev, because when you pop in the clutch, it's not gripping the gear. So it's just spinning, spinning, spinning. And you take that shit close to red line. Once you, it's the second to last, yellow before it turns green. And then you release that clutch and that shit will grab and you go forward like a motherfucker. That's a powerful thing. Right off the line, so much power. Right off the line. Right off the line. You see, people, they're so focused on, like, oh, 5D, 5D, fifth gear, fifth gear. Fifth gear has no fucking power. It's just you driving. Have you ever tried to climb up a hill with a manual transmission in fifth gear? You're not going anywhere. You better pray you don't roll back. What do? I'd pop that shit down to third. Third. Third gear, third dimension. Bring the energy back down to this reality, this physicality. Allow the energies that are surging to translate into opportunities for tremendous forward propulsion. It's like being ashamed that your vehicle can do a 10-second quarter mile. Please stop. That's some hot shit right there. I'm sure there's cars that go faster than that now. I haven't been to the track in 20 something years. I'm sure of it. But that's still some hot shit. What? You got this little import? You can go 10 seconds and a quarter mile. Bitch, stop. What you got in there? What do you have in there? Are you like squeezing? Are you? Okay, stop. Sacred journey in reverse. So for some of you, it's not even about knowing how your vessel, your vehicle operates. It's not even about knowing and mastering the use of the gears. It's just about how fast you can go. That's no longer a sacred journey. That's no longer a sacred journey. There's a difference between someone who is an absolute grease monkey and tinkers on their vehicle all day and all night and earns every single little upgraded part that they put into their vehicle versus someone who just has the money to spend and sends their car to a shop and purchases all this like name brand stuff, and then they can go that fast. Like, this isn't about just the end result. This is about how present you are during the journey, this part of the journey, because this is the part where you're going to learn so much. You need to learn so much. So using that example of someone who just purchases because they have the money to spend, they purchase all of these various car parts, right? And then they go ahead and they put nitrous in their vehicle because, yeah, that'll make your car go real fast, but you don't know how to use it. You fucking blow your engine. You will. You'll blow your engine. You will. You'll fuck that shit up so good. You'll have to have your car towed home. Yeah, no, you need to learn how to use the things that you have at your disposal, right? We're talking about cars here. You need to understand what works with what. You have a supercharger, you have a turbo. Yeah, okay, but do you know how to drive? You have slow reaction time. Okay, so all of those things that you have, all that money you've put under the hood, it doesn't mean shit if you don't have the appropriate reaction time. You see how all these different components have to come together. They have to come together. All these parts of your life that you think are, not related, they have to come together at this point. These experiences you had in childhood, the experiences you had in young adulthood, the experiences you're having now, they all come together to form a greater picture. They've been cultivating parts of you that need to be cultivated. It's the worlds within worlds that are now rising to the surface. You need to allow yourself to come into a space of wholeness so that you can master whatever needs to be mastered during this period. The opportunity for extreme abundance is here. It is right now. You have an opportunity that you probably won't have again for the rest of this lifetime. You probably won't have it again for the rest of this lifetime. New birth guarded vigilantly. So I didn't want to say this, but some of the dark stuff that's been coming through, if you scare easily, you should probably mute me for a minute or two. If you scare easily, you should probably mute me for like a minute or two. Okay. I'll raise my hand when I'm done saying the scary stuff. Okay, that's your warning. If I'm not yet muted, it's oh well. Okay, so the dark things that have filtered through, they're geared, they're task. They are geared, focused, hyper fixated on halting your progression. New birth guarded vigilantly. This means for many of you, you won't know how to defend yourself right now because you've just leveled up. It was a very subtle level up, but any level up puts you in a space of vulnerability. These dark things, the last time they were able to access to this degree was when Lilith, before Lilith, was reined in. She was given some degree of dominion. And boy, oh boy, she was going through quite a bit. Hmm. I can't even blame her. Like, you mess with her babies. Her babies are demons, though. You messed with her babies, and now she's on a warpath. I don't blame her. As a mother, I don't blame her. Do I like her? No, I don't. I don't. Why? Because she takes shit too far, involves people that don't need to be involved. Hmm. So now, I told you guys several weeks back that she was given free reign. She was given like all the limitations that had been placed on her, the rules that she had to operate within. Those were removed. Those were removed. And then you bring in her direct competition, Lamashtu. Oh, Lord, those two beesies are crazy. They're crazy. So, a lot of attempts, a lot of dark attempts, a lot of really yucky energies. I don't know if you guys have been feeling it, the shifting, the feeling nauseous, almost like a sense of vertigo, but not quite. Almost like your vertigo is about to start and then you get a little bit nauseous, but then it goes away. Feelings of just very elevated fear, elevated insecurities, old things coming to the surface, crazy ass dreams. They're not necessarily apocalyptic or even post apocalyptic, but these dreams that are just like, holy shit, what is happening here? Very odd, very intense. Yeah, that's all part of it. All of that, that's part of it. Attempts to access through mirrors. Again, they're starting with the whole mirror thing again. Attempts to access through any type of unsecured portal into the home, into your field, into your space. Have you noticed people are much more thirsty? Like, do you know what I mean when I say thirsty? Thirsty. Yeah, no, ew. Have you guys noticed that? People are much more like hormone, pheromone driven. You know why? A woman's womb is a stargate into the physicality. Why do you think they've been trying to vilify the woman and her womb for how long? Woman's womb is a stargate. So they're trying to rile up the women to be a little more promiscuous, a little more active. No judgment on y'all. That's your life choice, not my life choice, your life choice. And that will allow for entry into the field. Direct port injection. And that's a term that I coined many years ago. Direct port injection. Direct port injection allows for the bypassing of your innate protection. Your auric shielding is bypassed. You're giving entry, internal entry. So, how does this all fit in? Well, Lilith's children aren't just demons, they're sexual demons. They're succubus and incubus. Succubi, incubi, that's the plural. It is. So, yeah, they're trying to infect people with succubus and incubus infections. Those are hard to get rid of. Very hard to get rid of. Do you know why? They become obsessed with you. And you know what else? They invoke the laws of reciprocal reflection. What does that mean? As obsessed as they are with you, you become equally obsessed. Equally obsessed. So even if I were to remove it, you would welcome it back in. So for the most part, I don't accept any bookings from incubus, succubus issues. I'm just like, listen, I'm sorry. I will not. Absolutely not. No, thank you. So what happens? Okay, so scary stuff is done. Scary stuff is done. Oh, I think it's done. I don't know. For those of you who are at risk of this, what do you feel? You're probably not going to feel anything. You're probably not going to notice anything. There's a lot of sedation that's involved in these types of infections. This surging of energy is already going to be something that causes you to feel very unsure, almost like displaced within your own field, because it's a new place. It's not necessarily a bad thing. When you level up, it's very common. It's actually extremely common for you to feel uncertain, like you've lost yourself, you've lost your way, excuse me, confused, questioning a lot of things, all of that stuff. So you're not going to really know what you're feeling. That's normal. What's not normal is the things that are trying to take advantage of this space of vulnerability. Eventually it levels out and you go back to feeling like yourself. Maybe a changed version of yourself, but yourself nonetheless. You and your sensitivity return and you can tell when things are trying. But up until then, you're vulnerable. It's the equivalent, I like to make this analogy, of you moving to a completely different country. I mean, you visited before, but you've never lived there. You don't know what areas are dangerous areas. I mean, you don't even know where the hospital is. You don't know the language. You don't know any of that. Eventually, you'll acclimate. You'll learn the important things. You'll learn the landmarks, and you'll figure out how to get home from anywhere in the city. You'll learn what areas to stay out of, what type of people to avoid. You'll learn all those things, but it takes time. Until you learn those things, you are vulnerable in a bad way. So you have to be very careful. I saw this video of this girl. She was in a bar or a club of some kind. And it was, I believe, in Vietnam. And someone was taking video and she's kind of like laughing. And this guy is tying a ribbon to, I think it was her ankle or something like that, right? She's laughing. No biggie. Like, oh my God, how cute. So sweet. Except this other girl in the video, I don't remember if she stepped into the video, and she's like, don't let him do that to you. Hey, why are you doing that to her? Take that off of her. And you can kind of tell that this girl who is getting something wrapped around her ankle might be not fully aware of what's happening. I think she might have had a few drinks. It doesn't justify. That doesn't justify anything. But luckily, there was someone there that knew. Apparently, in that part of the world, when they tie a ribbon around your ankle or your wrist or whatever, wherever he tied it to, it identifies you as someone who can be trafficked. Yeah. She didn't know that. She didn't know that. It's like that. Hang around the people who are interested in your well-being, nothing more, nothing less. During this period of vulnerability, that is the most powerful thing you can do, or just steer clear of everyone. It's only a few weeks. It's only a few weeks. Okay. So you need to be very aware. Eventually the storm will end. Eventually the shifting of energy will cease. And then you'll have the opportunity to get back to your norm, right? You'll have the opportunity to restore and replenish, which you need to. You need to make sure that you allow yourself to consciously choose to rest. I've been offline for quite a few days. I've been needing to rest. I've been needing to restore and replenish. My body has been purging all the toxins out, everything, including things that have been stored for over 10 years, is being pushed out of my body. It's been a process. No, it's not an attack. It's a process. It's a cleansing. It's a purging that's happening. Utilize this energy in this period for that, to benefit you, to benefit your health, your understanding of yourself within your life, within your journey, within your divine purpose. That's what this energy is for. And if you're not aware of that, if you're not willing to harness that intentionally and be fully present, well, then dark shit will do dark things. Is that scary to you? To me, it's not scary. To me, it's like, all right, well, you just let me know what I need to be aware of. So now I'm going to be aware of it. And no, they're not going to be allowed to. It's very simple to me. To me, it's not something to be scared of. You're here to receive this information so that you're aware. I don't know if you've noticed, your soul really only gives you information for one of two reasons: either to avoid it or to prepare yourself so that you can choose the highest potentiality within that experience. Soul only gives me information for one of two reasons. It's the only thing. The other day I was in the mountains and I don't know what the hell was happening. There was massive shifting because I was like on top of an energy vortex. And like I was just not sure what was happening. And it was nighttime and it was completely blacked out where I was. Like no lights at all, like pitch black darkness, only lights from my vehicle. And there's no guardrail. And soul was letting me know they want to flip you. 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 I'm like, I don't want to go over the side of the mountain. I don't want to go over the side of the mountain. So I had to listen to soul. I had to. I knew they were going to try and get me stuck. Right. And maybe like 3 days later, one of my associates was driving the company vehicle and it got stuck. That's what they wanted to do to me several nights before. It got stuck. It was 3-wheel motion. Part of the rear was propped up on a boulder. 3-wheel motion. And I didn't want to reverse any further. And I was driving a 4x4 vehicle. I'll go deeper into it in my book. Your soul tries to protect you. If you listen, then you'll be protected. If you don't, then, it wasn't a big deal. We just had to call a tow truck, pulled it right out, and it was fine. Day went on. It was perfectly fine. What? Who cares? Vehicle is fully covered. It's fully insured. Was it intentional? No. So then, oh well, it's done. What happened, happened, and that's it. Is it going to ruin my day? No, I have other things I need to do. I have to be fully present. And I told my team member, I need you present. We have to work today. I need you present. Instantly, I'm so proud of my team member. Instantly, they are present. You have to be able to command your emotions in that way. If not, I promise you, you're going to have a real hard time. You're going to have a real hard time. If you think you've had difficulty before, wait till you experience and live through what your soul is trying to guide you through right now. It's going to take a few weeks. It's going to take a few weeks. But I'm pretty sure all of you will begin to see all of these things being revealed to you in the next few weeks. Focus on the light, but it's in reverse. Why focus on the light when it's the darkness that hides the malicious, malignant intentions of others? I've never really been one to focus on the light. I put my attention on what needs to be paid attention to. It's usually the things that are hiding in the shadows, the things that are trying to trip me up, things that are trying to tear me down, all of this plotting and planning and yada yada da 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 da. Yeah, nothing matters if I can negate it before it's even started. Right? You focus on the light. You go ahead. You can focus on the light. You'll be light blind. You won't see shit coming. Stare at the sun for 5 minutes straight and then see if you can see anything coming. Promise you can't. You shouldn't do that. You'll burn a hole in your retinas. Spirals of manifestation in reverse. Thank you, Lindsay. Spirals of manifestation in reverse. The goal of certain things during this period is to inspire you, aka manipulate you, to spiral back down into a lower degree of dimensional awareness. It's like sticking your head in the sand. Is it an ostrich that does that? Or is it an emu? I don't know. It's one of those things. Are you a bird? Stick their head in the sand? I mean, you can if you want. If you want. I wouldn't. That's nasty. Ew. There's a lot of graphene oxide in the sand. Yuck. Anyways, quick reminder. I do have the Baneful Protection Workshop coming up this Saturday. For you guys that have been waiting, I do also have a 40% off coupon running across my websites, ME Evolving and K33 Academy. You can get that Baneful Protection Workshop, I believe, for 40% off if the coupon is still active. Don't miss out on that coupon. 40% off. It's not a cheap workshop. Use that coupon. If it's still active, you can get the 40% off and it takes it off automatically. So with the Baneful Protection Workshop, I'm going to be teaching you how to protect yourself, especially through this period. Okay? It is very important that you know how to maintain your space. Is very, very, very important. And however you choose to maintain your space is up to you. But if you don't know how, you need to learn how ASAP. It's this Saturday. It should be eligible for the discount. Let me check. It should be. Is it not? Do I not know? Hold on. I just gotta check real quick. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. I believe it is. Let me here. And it is still active. What categories? Yeah, it's still active. The only thing that the coupon is not that doesn't apply to the coupon is the membership. That one, I can't ever put that on sale. So that's the only thing. All right, guys, where is the window to end the live stream? It didn't work for you? Email us, Nikki. Email us and let's figure out what happened. It should have worked for you. Did you get it when the coupon was active? Would you suggest this one too if we've already done the revocation as well? Yeah, because this one I'm actually teaching you how to do Baneful Protection. And there's options to get Baneful Protection kits. So I make quite a few different type of apothecary items. And with this, it's very intense apothecary items. I don't typically have it publicly available. This Saturday at what time? No, so it's a private event, Mamacita. I don't know. That just cracked me up calling you Mamacita. It's a private event. So it's only held on my private servers and you need to be registered. The only way to register is by purchasing a ticket. So yeah. You can rewatch it. It's going to be recorded. And so with that, you'll have access to the video for quite some time, at least 1 month, usually longer. The only time that I take it off of access is when I need the space on my platform. So it's a private platform on my academy, and none of it is publicly broadcast. So yeah. Okay, guys, I gotta get going. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. I will see you again very soon.